Give y'all a couple minutes to get on in here. Get on in here. Hey, y'all. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, how y'all doing? Come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in. All right. Hanging on, hanging on. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. How you doing? Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Oh, you give me all this love. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I don't know how to tell other people. Let me see. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying new stuff. Now is not the time to try new stuff, Quita. All right. Look, I'm going to give it a couple more minutes and then y'all know how we do. We just press on. We just press on. All right. So, I'm going to try and keep this crown up here best I know how. There we go. All right. Chris, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. All right. The time is now 8:02 Central Standard Time, so I will not hold you. I will not keep you long. I am going to press on because you know what it is. It's Monday, Monday, Monday. Ooh, Monday, Monday. We made it another week, y'all. Oh, my gosh. We made it another week. So, welcome to Real Resilient Conversations. If it is your first time joining us, I say welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your host, Quita Quee, and it is Real Resilient Conversation Mondays. So, of course, if you are my RRC, meaning my Real Resilient Committee, my people that are always here joining me, I love y'all. I love y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back to your bi-weekly tune-up on that real resilient thing. So I am here as we take quirky, crazy topics, unique topics, and I turn it around to give you direction and give you some ideas on how you can still become more resilient. So if this is your first time, I hope that I say something today that brings you back. And if not, then maybe come back another time and see if I can't give you what you're looking for. So today's topic, if you hear, let me get a whoop whoop. Well, probably whoop whoop is out. Let me know you here in the chat. Let me know you here. If this is your very first time, we do take topics and I ask some questions. So I'm an interactive type of host. So those that are here, when you heard of the topic being plant-based, tell me what was your thought process behind plant-based? What could that consist of? Because you know, I am one that tries to utilize different wording to kind of get you thinking, because plant-based could have went so many different directions, right? But tell me, what did you think when you heard of the term plant-based? Plant-based could have been talking about food. Y'all never know what I'm gonna do, huh? Y'all like my, hey, you like that? Huh? You like that? Yeah. Plant-based. Tell me what you thought plant-based was going to be about. Because this gives you the opportunity to kind of dig a little deep. You know how you dig and you're trying to like, dang, is she going to talk about food? Is she going to, what is this got to do with plant-based? We're going to jump into that, right? Look at Audrey, I got a whoop-whoop. Talking about being organic, that's a good one. Ooh, that's real good. That's real juicy. Okay, so, yes, darling. Okay, roots. Oh, that's a real good one. Yeah. So when you're talking about, plant-based, I really wanted to take you down a familiar road, but then bring you back into the woods to kind of be like, oh yeah, that makes sense, right? Just because of how my mind works and how I go about taking care of business, how I go about doing things. When you see me in this costume, what did you think? So she was like, okay, she in a costume. I know Halloween in a couple days. Oh, she got on a crown. Like, what's going on? When you seen the crown, you see the backdrop. What did y'all think about then when you knew that the topic was plant-based? What were your thoughts? Because I know you were like, this girl is all over the place. So what were your thoughts when you seen the costume, when you seen the backdrop? In reference to plant-based, what could that have been? You put all of them together, and what do you get? Ding dong. Hot dog. What could the costume and the backdrop have anything to do with plant-based? So I'm not going to give you the answer. I just want you to keep it in the back of your mind. Put it on the back burner for now. We're going to jump back in it soon, okay? So let's break down the two words first. So when you're talking about, I got you stumped on this one. When you're talking about planted, right? We're talking about standing firm, like in the sense of planted. You are standing firm. It's your you're not worried about intimidation. You are rejecting, matter of fact, intimidation. You're keeping yourself grounded. You got 2 feet planted flat on the floor. You know you are secure. You are, either way you get pushed, you still are grounded. You are stable. You are secure, right? So when you're talking about being planted or feet planted, that is one way to look at it, right? So what about based though? So plant, okay, you're like plant, okay, you can put your foot here, you can plant something in like a regular seedling plant, like there's different plants, right? Now what about the base? So the base is your foundation, right? So what happens when your foundation is not solid? What happens when your foundation is built upon sand? What happens when foundation, it should be your point from which something develops. It should be the starting point, right? It should be the starting point from which something can develop. So whether that be your children or a place that you can establish, whether that be a business, whether that be a opportunity, whether that be a book, right? Whatever it is that you create, that something can start. That is your foundation, right? When you are talking about being established, do you know where you're established at right now? Do you know where your feet are planted? Do you know where you feel planted at? Remember, planted is still talking about standing firm, not worrying about intimidation. Do you know where you feel planted, yet where your foundation is? What is your base? So when you're thinking about that in reference to your life, where are you? And where do you want to be? Right? And we all have goals and dreams and visions of where we want ourselves to be. However, we always find ourselves at places that we're like, not quite there yet, right? And so when we're talking about being planted, we're planted in a base to grow, just like soil, right? In a base for a seedling, right? So when you're planted, it's the responsibility. Your responsibility is to nurture that creation, right? So you can plant it. However, you have to stay firm in making sure that you nurture it, making sure that the base, the environment in which it's in, which is going to be its foundation, is healthy, making sure that it's not being overtaken by some type of bacterial infection or something of that, right? When you are creating something, based on your responsibility for creation, like I said, it could be something that is an operation of something, right? So if you are operating in the field of growing a small business, or growing a child inside of you, right? That development, that nurturing, that time that you have to take, right? It's going to be some learning. There's not always going to be a time that you get it right every time, right? So when it looks, when you're talking about your children, you're talking about business, you're talking about goals, dreams, finances, you're talking about relationships. Oh gosh. Everything else I can be get good at relationships. Right? That thing that you have to nurture, that thing that you have to grow, right? What areas do you feel that you are standing firm in, that you can put both feet, flat foot on the ground and say, I am firmly planted, right? My foundation is solid. I know who I am, where I am, and how I should be. And I'm good with that. I'm right where I need to be. Is your foundation secure enough to withstand if a storm is to come, if things don't go your way, if the outcome of what you planted is not going to be able to withstand the environment that may come, right? What areas are you standing firm in? And that you're rejecting intimidation. You're not worried about who says what. You shouldn't be or you should be X, Y, and Z. You're not worried about that, right? When you're standing firm and you feel established, you feel good, you feel secure in where you are. Where are you right now? In that place. Think of where you are in that place. And in that place, do you feel like, have I outgrown this foundation? Have I outgrown this base? Right? If my base was in a pot, there's still walls. There's still a area in which I can't grow out of, right? At some point, what areas in your mind are permanently your mindset that may need to be changed? Right? When you're talking about, right, your growth spurts, exactly. When you are looking at the fact of plant-based, I'm planted. My feet are planted here. My foundation is secure. Think about growing up, your religions, right? The way of living, how things happen. Your foundation was what your parents established for you. Your feet are planted in who you become. Right? For example, if your parents take you to church all your life, you know church all your life, however you become grown and then you decide you don't want to go to church. Your foundation was in church. However, now that has shifted. Now your foundation is on whatever beliefs you believe in. Right? I am not here to judge. Promise you I am not here to judge. However, whatever your choice is, know that your foundation should be that which you can stand firmly on. If your foundation is to spend all your money because nobody taught you, so your foundation is set on rocky ground, is set on sand, right? So if you run out of money, now you scrambling, you in quicksand trying to just make it back up. What areas are your foundation, right? What areas are your base, right? In order for you to be planted, right? And because of that base, is it something that needs to be dug up and planted in a new foundation, right? In order for you to flourish, what areas do you need to be in order for you to grow, develop, and flourish in that foundation? That's what I want you to think about on today, right? Do you need to move out of the city, the state, the country, to start a new job, to look for a promotion, to look for a new car, to look for a new house, to look for something bigger and better? Is it time for you to grow? Is it time for you to develop? Is it time for you to be planted somewhere else, doing something else that is going to make you better than you were yesterday, better than you were last week, better than you were last month? Because guess what? You are resilient enough to do it, baby. It is you. You are resilient enough to do it, right? You have to think about it, right? All the trees that are growing, all the bushes that are growing, how many times have they had to be uprooted because the foundation in which they're established is now no longer fertile? Now it is being contaminated by whatever is overtaking it. Whatever virus is in the ground, now we have to uproot it in order for it to live. Once we uproot it, we move it into a better environment. We give it the nutrients that it needs. We give it the vitamins and supplements that it needs. And guess what it does? It flourishes. How many of us are looking at our physical bodies and we need to get out of our habits and what we're eating and what we're drinking in order to change that so that we can flourish? That's a good one. Right? the life that we need, the life-changing aspects that we need to look at is, are you really ready to be uprooted in order for you to flourish? I was talking to someone today and they said, I think I have outgrown where I am. There is nothing wrong with that. I have left. Let me tell y'all something. I have been engaged more times than I would like to admit. And there was times where I said, I don't think this is where I need to be planted. Good people. Good people. However, not where I needed to be planted. You have to know when it's time for you to be uprooted in order for you to flourish. If I had stayed at that place, would I be in a one-bedroom apartment? We still living paycheck to paycheck, wondering how we going to make ends meet with a bunch of children. Who knows? However, think about a track star, right? When they get ready to get down, put their feet in those stirrup type things. I don't know what the real word is. Y'all, I apologize because I don't know the real word. When they put their feet in their stirrups to get ready to take off, right? They have to put their feet all the way back to the base, all the way back to the foundation of the stirrup. Once they get ready to put it in there, what happens when they plant their foot in the base, and if it doesn't fit right, they take it out, they shake it out, and they have to reattempt. The same thing when it comes to life, right? They say sometimes you take a picture, and if it don't come out right, take another picture. Try it again. There's going to be times where we are uprooted and we are moved about, and it still is not the right environment. If you had the opportunity to watch the advertisement, I had on there Miracle-Gro. And sometimes the environment may need a little help, and Miracle-Gro might be what it needs, right? We need a little miracle. We need something greater than us, bigger than us, to give us that miracle. And at the time where we are shaking our foot out, we're like, okay, God, make a way, open the door, right? Shake it off, like, it's looking crazy, right? Right? All right, so let me jump on this costume thing real quick. My time is dwindling down. So evaluate my costume. Look at the backdrop for a minute. Y'all see the backdrop? Right? This is Spider-Man from the Spider-Verse. Y'all, like, how does she have all these different backdrops? This one is going to be up for grabs. If anyone has a son and they would like to have it, please let me know. So you're looking at the costume, the backdrop. After everything that we have spoken of thus far, how do you think that the two different costumes, how do you think it has anything to do with today's topic? Right? What do you think the costumes have to do with today's topic? I'm going to give y'all a couple more seconds. Anything in the chat? Y'all trying to figure me out, huh? Thank you, Deborah. Thank you. Okay. So let's start with this. October 21st was Wonder Woman's day. That was considered the Wonder Woman day. That's when she officially had her own day, right? So I just had to bring her back out too. But just like most superheroes, she had superpowers, right? Superhuman powers, superhuman strength. So just like myself, I look at my fibromyalgia, right? My fibromyalgia is kind of like my superpower. It is my weakness and my strength at the same time, because there are so many people that could not deal with what I deal with and still be able to have a smile on their face, still be able to encourage someone, still be able to go to work. I listen in on the groups that I'm a part of, and they're like, I can't work. I wish I could. I struggle from day to day just to, live off of unemployment, all of the things that people are going through, and I struggle, but I push. It is my strength and my kryptonite, if you're looking at Superman, right? I am, all of my people that have chronic illnesses, it's like their superpower and also their kryptonite. But, just because it takes so much, y'all, I wish I could express how much it takes, just for me to do my day-to-day. But nevertheless, Wonder Woman was one that freed herself. So you're talking about being uprooted and realizing that you have to break free from where you are in order for you to utilize the skills, the talents, that you are, that you are blessed with, that you have been given, that you were born with, because she was born with it. How many of you have been born with your talents, your strengths, your abilities, and you're not using it? You're just putting it to the side. You have business ideas and you're just like, not right now. Right now it's a little tight, right? How many of us have things that we really should be doing, but we're too afraid to do it because we're scared of what it may look like because of the outcome? Let me tell you something. I've had so many businesses and I've had so many that failed and so many that were good. However, I just needed more help. The opportunity, right, for her to free herself. She still had some magic tricks like, the lasso, the bracelets, and then she had her tiara, all of the things that she was able to use. But in reference to tonight's show, basically everybody else in the Spider-Man Starverse, I think that's what it's called, they were all kind of like dressed the same. They all had the Spider-Man. One was a woman, one was a heavyset guy, one was a black kid, right? It was different people, like the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man, but different types of Spider-Man. What are you doing to stand out? What are you doing to where you're ready to be planted in something greater and not be a part of everybody else? Look like everybody else, you're just dressed differently. How many of you are still dressed like everybody else, doing the same thing everybody else is doing because it's comfortable? You're complacent in it, right? No matter how many views I get, no matter how many people say, great job, guess what I do? Every 2 weeks, I come on faithfully and still give my best, give my all. You know why? Because I am different. So Wonder Woman would obviously stand out in Spider-Verse. They'd be like, what's she doing here? Who is she? Who she thinks she is? She thinks she's better than everybody else. Have you heard that about yourself? Somebody saying you think you're better because you have taken the opportunity to uproot from the negative environment that you were once in and to grow and to become, have degrees, have businesses, have bigger houses, have better jobs. Have left the environment that you grew up in that showed a bunch of negative people, negative family members, and you have taken yourself and you say, I don't talk like that, I don't live like that, I don't dress like that, because now I have uprooted myself and my foundation is now here, right? Spider-Man has to be somewhere, right, in order to plant his web, right? There has to be a foundation in order for his web to adhere to. Otherwise, if he doesn't have a foundation, where's he going to go? Nowhere. What happens when he tries to look somewhere for his web and there's not a foundation for him to link on to? When there is no foundation, right, for us to link on to, no matter where you're trying to plant, like Spider-Man, no matter where he's trying to plant, guess what's going to happen? He ain't going nowhere. You have to know where your foundation is. So when you get ready to plant your feet on that foundation, it is a solid foundation. His or her feet can't be planted anywhere, right? When you walking in the difference and knowing who you are, it's okay that your foundation has shifted. Because what if your foundation before was sand? What if your foundation before was sinking water? What happens if? You fill in the blank, whatever the ifs may be. You have the opportunity to change your foundation and to shift where you are planted, how you are planted, and how soon you are uprooted and replanted. All right? So, I don't know about you, but my foundation is in God. Wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever your beliefs in, I do not judge you. However, mine is in God Almighty. He is my foundation, and that is where I put my trust in. No matter what it looks like around me, tell me to step out on water. I'm like, is that you or is that me? Oh, that's you? Oh, okay. Water, step. Oh, because it just looked like water on top, but it's really a solid foundation. Okay, let's go. Figure out what your solid foundation is. Don't be like the Spider-Man where you are looking for a foundation and you can't find one, because everywhere that you're trying to plant is nowhere to be found. Be a Wonder Woman or a different character of your choosing to where you know that you can free yourself. You can uproot yourself and move to where you need to be. I know that everything that I've been through, everything that I've chosen to do, everything that I have embodied myself to be a part of, everything that I have been successful to make it out of, right? I know that it's not just for me, right? Years of manipulation, of abuse, of neglect, and yet I still stand here with a smile upon my face, and I am still here telling y'all that you, my dear, are still resilient. You can still bounce back from where you are. You can still go forward. You can still be better. You can still grow. You can still be successful in whatever it is that you want to do. Whatever it is. And you know why? It only takes hard work and dedication. Some sacrifice, but I promise you, if you take the time, you take the steps, you get with the right people, the right resources, you can do it. I promise you, when I had a food truck, it was just me by myself. I called a couple people like, hey, I need help installing some pipes. Hey, I need help installing some gas line. And guess what else? I was in there on YouTube. I was buying screws. I was building cabinets. I was doing everything that I thought I was big and bad enough to do. And it was still successful. If my body hadn't quit on me, I would still be owning a food truck to this day. You have to make the decision of where you need to be uprooted, and whether it be a temporary or a new permanent is up to you. It's all up to you. You have to close your eyes, pray, meditate, seek, and ye shall find. Knock and the door shall be open. But if you don't go and if you don't knock, you cannot be planted anywhere. And your basis and your foundation will always be ever evolving, always changing, always moving, because you, my dear, have not taken the time out to say, I'm resilient and I'm ready to make this my foundation, right? I know that you have to be grounded. So being grounded for your mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, even financial stance. If you are in need of help, reach out to someone. There's always someone willing to help. If you don't know, find me. I'll get you to where you need to be. If you don't know how to do, where to go, you need just some words of encouragement. I am here for it, right? We need each other. Each of us are a resource to each other, right? Utilize your resources. Trying to suffer in silence is never where we need to be, right? And once again, you are resilient no matter where you are, no matter what's going on in life. You have the opportunity to bounce back. You have the opportunity to uproot yourself out of that depression, uproot yourself out of that divorce, uproot yourself out of that neglect, uproot yourself out of that financial pit, right? You have the opportunity to change it. I trust that you can do it, because I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. So that is my time. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's topic. We made it through. Plant-based. So please make sure that you like, share, subscribe. If you don't know, the little bell at the top, make sure that you subscribe to that. Make sure you like, make sure you share. And I don't want you to miss out on the fun topics that are yet to come, because our next topic in 2 weeks on 8 November is going to be called I'm Emotional and I Can't Let Go. Alright, so I'm Emotional is the next topic on November 8th, same time, same place, in the same space, coming to give you love, joy, peace, and happiness. I can't wait until I see y'all again. See y'all soon. Y'all be blessed. Y'all let me know what you need, okay? Find somebody, all right? See